Jack Thunder and the Fragments of Anima, Book 7, Null. Chapter 3, Meet and Greet. Saturn and Shadowpaws weaved their way through the crowds. For their part, hardly anyone seemed to notice the two kids wielding a giant cannon and sword as they made their way to different shops. Maybe such a thing was normal in Harlequin's Repose. Shadowpaws wouldn't know, he'd never been to the town before. Saturn plodded along behind him, shivering. From his wet feathers or from shock, Shadowpaws wasn't sure. He was betting more on the second, though. The Valkyrie hadn't said a word to him since the team split up. Shadowpaws remembered how Saturn wouldn't stop talking the first time he and Snotter met him. On any other occasion, Shadowpaws would have welcomed the silence, but he had no such relief now. The two of them stepped into a small apothecary towards the outskirts of town. It was a small, cramped place. Potions lined every wall on shelves spanning from the ceiling to the faded red carpet floor. A standing electric fan whirred in front of the door, providing the only air conditioning in the stuffy room. Saturn took his place in front of it, letting it blow dry his feathers. Shadowpaws paid no attention to his companion. A familiar face standing near the register grabbed his attention. "Oh, Strombolio! I didn't know you were out here!" The elder Harlequin gremlin turned around to face the Nekomata. "I could say the same for you, Shadowpaws." What are you doing out here?" Shadowpaws had never seen Strombolio without his hood on before. He looked so much younger without it on. His hair was feathery and soft, the same midnight blue as his beard. Shadowpaws couldn't stop staring. The Strombolio he knew wouldn't be caught dead like this. "Show season's over. Decided to come out here to take a vacation." Strombolio turned back to the counter, where the clerk handed him a bouquet of herbs. He thanked her before turning back to Shadowpaws. "Nice wood elf at the lay spot said she thought I needed it. Had some trouble with the flu or something a couple nights ago. She said it was probably something I never really got over from last year's dark carnival." He sighed. "I don't really like stepping away from the circus, but it's something I needed to do. I came here to pick up herbs for my treatment." Shadowpaws noticed Strombolio's eyes. His usually crystalline copper-red eyes were bloodshot and slightly glassy. The Nekomata resisted the urge to twist his face in disgust. Strombolio wasn't kidding. Just then, Saturn stepped right up next to Shadowpaws. His feathers were all fluffed up from the fan. "Oh, it's the great Strombolio! Shadowpaws, can you believe it?" Shadowpaws rolled his eyes. "I was just talking to him now. Didn't you hear?" Saturn turned to Strombolio, not caring about his frizzy feathers. "It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. I've heard so much about you and your adventures. I mean, we're about to go on an adventure too. Mr. San found the Heart of Darkness near World's End, so I guess we're kinda in the same boat." Strombolio nearly jumped when he heard what Saturn had told him. The Heart of Darkness was returning in World's End? Now? He bent down to Saturn and Shadowpaws' level. The least he could do was impart some advice. In a voice barely above a whisper, he spoke. "Listen, I've battled the Heart of Darkness once before. It ain't gonna be an easy fight. It will say and do anything to make you turn back, tell you lies about yourself, lies about each other. If you ever start to doubt yourselves, you let each other know, okay? This is a battle all of us will be fighting in together." The Nekomata and Valkyrie nodded. "And one more thing," Strombolio continued. "If you ever feel like you're beat, remember all you've been through together. Not many things can break a friendship like the one you've got now. Keep that in mind and the heart stands no chance." The two young heroes glanced towards each other before turning back to Strombolio. "We'll try. Thank you, Mr. Strombolio." The Harlequin gremlin stood up and began to head towards the door. Before he left, he turned back to them. "Good luck." As the door slammed behind Strombolio, Shadowpaws and Saturn resumed their shopping. They would need a lot of health potions for this quest. "Isn't there anyone around here who can tell us where we are?" Kirami turned around, searching for the mountains. They had to be around here somewhere. How could anyone miss a giant mountain range surrounding the west edge of the town? Ah, there they were. Calm down, Snotter. The mountains are to our right. We're heading south. We shouldn't be far from the center of town. Look, there's the fountain. Snotter ignored her. She looked through her bag one last time. She had bought way more lion's blood potions than she probably needed. The fairy snail had insisted to her fox friend that they would need every scrap of strength they could muster. Kirami tried to tell her that it wasn't strength that would win the day, but she refused to listen. All of a sudden, Kirami caught the sight of a familiar wooden trailer. Altairia emerged from it, Puer Aeternus following behind. Ruby was with them too. The older Kitsune waved towards Kirami. Kirami waved back and ran up towards the trailer, Snotter following close behind. Well, if it isn't a pleasure seeing you two again. I sense the return of the Wendigos is on the horizon. Altairia greeted the two heroes. Ruby stepped up and began licking Kirami's face. That's why we're here, Kirami responded. She stroked Ruby's fur, motioning for the Inferno cat to sit. I'm not too worried about it. I'll be fine as long as I've got my lion's blood potions. Snotter showed Altairia and Puer Aeternus her bag. Altairia chuckled. Well, I doubt brute strength is the thing you'll need. Snotter cocked her head, twisting her expression in disbelief. Seriously? You're agreeing with her? She motioned to Kirami. Kirami turned towards Snotter. You know the Heart of Darkness used to be the Heart of Altairia, right? Jack's gonna try and turn it back with our help. Snotter stared back in disbelief. You don't really think I'm gonna start feeling sorry for that monster, do ya? You might surprise yourself, a new voice piped up. To both their surprise, it was Puer Aeternus. You really think so? Snotter didn't know what to think. Puer Aeternus shrugged. I don't really know. Kirami turned to her companion. Come on, we need to find the others. The two of them said their goodbyes to Altairia and Puer Aeternus. As they made their way towards the fountain, the youth demigod's words turned over in Snotter's head.